That year, I was an 18 years old and an 11 student. My scores weren't very good, but I was good at fighting. As a result, I also became acquainted with many faithful friends. They all called me Lauda and obeyed my commands. Under their devotion and respect day in day out, I thought I was a real big shot. I was also a rich Lauda. My mom died when I was very young, and my dad went to America after marrying another woman. Although he didn't want to talk to me, I was still his son. He often sent money back to me so I could spend it arbitrarily. My friends' family weren't very well off, so I often treated them to delicious food and they felt even more grateful to me. I was such a legend that everyone knew my name in and out of school. Even the teachers didn't dare provoke me and turned a blind eye. However, our class president Lee Chan-yuan was an exception. Our conflicts weren't actually that intense at the beginning. When I was first allocated to his class, I was actually quite fond of him. He was very pretty and talked in a polite and cultured manner. He had also blushed every now and then. It's just that a majority of the time he was completely silent and looked like a very introverted person. His scores are very good, and although he didn't talk much, everyone liked him a lot. Thus, as soon as year 11 started, the class president was elected by everyone and he got the position. On the other hand, my fondness for him also ended. Back then, I was already used to my friends acting upon every big and call and bowing down to me. I was also used to people looking at me in fear and awe. But the days really were very grand back then. Lee Chan-yeon just didn't buy it though. He was in charge of discipline and often had to carry out ideological work for full-time travel makers. He would mainly lecture about big principles like how your parents didn't have it easy, or how your future depended on yourself. Although he didn't say much, it was very persuading. There were actually a few people who were so moved by him their scores suddenly improved and they never caused trouble again. Nonetheless, I just could not bear the damn sight of him with his admonishing words and kind feelings. I could not quite put a finger on my mentality either. I just started to hate him when he became the class president. Even the things I didn't detest before all turned into excuses for my hatred. For example, this guy really liked cleanliness. During the summer, people would sometimes go play basketball in white t-shirts. Everyone else was as dirt as a mud monkey, while only he would be completely clean. My books were a complete mess inside my study desk. Finding a book was harder than climbing up to the sky. A lot of the times, I would listen to the teacher's class and my eyes looking up towards the ceiling. On the other hand, his desk was always clean and neat. Overall, he gave people the feeling of being delicate and pretty, which would then lead people to think that his books, his pens, and his clothes are also very delicate and pretty. It really was a strange feeling. However, in my eyes, if a guy is also so clean every day, then they have got a mental disorder. You can actually just pretend someone doesn't exist if you hate them. But the more I hated him, the more I paid attention to him. His scores were good, so the teachers were biased towards him. The girls also seemed to like these types of cultured, handsome boys and would pass slips of paper to him every 2 or 3 days. Some even pretended to ask questions in order to get close to him. Don't be fooled by those girls who seem very shy on the outside. I could see through all their evil plans. However, he didn't seem to be interested, no matter if they were beautiful or ugly. enthusiastic or reserved. He wouldn't respond to them. Well, all bookworms are like that. Nonetheless, I was very jealous of everyone liking him. Even though they were all scared of me, there weren't any girls who would give me slips of paper. If it was just this, then it wouldn't have mattered so much. It just had to be that one day during self-study, when a friend of mine ran over to sit next to me to tell jokes. The class president saw this and walked over before telling us to stop talking. In my memory, he rarely talked to me. I even counted it up to a grand total of 54 sentences. I didn't think that when he opened that precious mouth of his this time, it was actually to tell me off. How was I supposed to endure that? I looked at him coldly and deliberately took out a cigarette nice and slowly. My friend quickly lighted it up for me. I blew a puff of smoke at him and said in the tone I used when I fought outside, "Why would I want you to meddle with my business?" My voice wasn't soft. The entire class glanced over. I glared at them and a few timid tones hurriedly retracted their gazes. He violently took my cigarette. His voice wasn't loud, but there was no doubt in his tone. He said, "This is a classroom. You are not allowed to smoke."